I'm Chris James, born and raised in Palm Beach County. I've been fishing since I was in diapers. Started out, I guess, just like anybody else. My dad was into it, so I got into it, you know. Started out fishing with a good friend of my dad's on a 32 Ocean Master. Used to troll a lot, used to hit the keys a lot. Still haven't caught as big a mahi as I did when I was probably 9 years old. Got a 45 pounder, and I've been spending the rest of my life trying to beat that record. But pretty much abandoned the troll, gone to live bait since then. Always live baiting out here. Born and raised in South Florida. We do, when it's flat, we surf, or when it's flat, we fish. When there's waves, we surf. So there's always something to do in the water, you know. When the visibility allows it, we're out there free dive spear fishing and things like that. Just pretty much born and raised on the water. If I ever moved to a landlocked place, I think I'd go crazy. So I stay by the water. I lived here my whole life, spent 1 year in Cabo San Lucas, went over there just to experience the fishing. When Cortez discovered it, he called it the aquarium of the world. That attracted me, so I went down there, did a lot of surfing, did a lot of fishing, and naturally back here where I was born and raised. Came back here, just jumped right back into the scene, probably gonna fish a few tournaments this season. And if we stay away from the tournaments, we'll probably be running over to the Bahamas, doing a lot of fishing over there. We like to try to crush the tunas over there whenever we can. Always bigger wahoo over there. So whether we make a day trip or make a couple days out of it, I know we'll be over there a couple times this season. Really brings everything to my life. If I could be cheesy, you know what I mean? It feeds me. It provides me with a hobby. It provides me with pretty much everything, man. There's no bigger rush than going out there on the good days and just crushing it, and even the bad days just make those good days so much better. You know, you go out there a couple of days and you don't have the results you want, just gets me that much more fired up to get out there and do it again. As far as the tournament aspects of it, I don't necessarily fish tournaments for the money. I more so fish tournaments because this is the place I grew up, and nothing makes me happier than to go out there and beat a bunch of guys from out of town in my own backyard. You know, I feel like we kind of have a responsibility to represent this place. You know, the old timers will always have tons of respect for them and their tactics and the things we learn from them. They've got a lifetime of fishing, but we're kind of the new generation, you know, and it's our job to take what they've done and just amplify it, and take our young energy and our strength and things like that, and just represent South Florida and be the local fisherman around here, and just more than anything, just maintain the respect for this ocean. You know what I mean? This ocean's been feeding me my whole life. You know, I mean, I'm very fortunate now, but there's times where I wasn't so fortunate, and I was still able to come here with my little pea shooter spear gun, jump in the water, and I'd come home with a meal that day, not just for me, but for all my friends and family. You know, and you'll never catch me throwing a piece of trash in here. You'll never catch me doing anything like that, man. I'm the guy running down some guy who threw a piece of trash in here to have a word or two with him, because it's all about respect. I mean, this ocean's almost taken my life 100 times, you know? Whether surfing, fishing, trying to come out the inlet on way too small a boat on way too big a day, and you got to have respect for it. Is any instant the ocean could take your life, and in any instant it could make your life. You know, the amount of money we make fishing these waters, commercial sword fishing and things like that. There's tons of money to be made, but you got to have it's a mutual respect. You know, you gotta respect the ocean and what it does for you, and know that she's a beautiful thing, but she's powerful too, man. She'll take you right out. I think I was like 18 years old. I was just getting into the competitive fishing circuit and things like that, and I landed a spot on this killer boat. It was a 32 yellowfin, or a 31 yellowfin. He later went to a 36, and that's still a guy I fish with today, but it was our first tournament together. We were just buddies that fished all the time. And when we started the tournament, nothing could go right. We ran the whole tournament on one engine, which got us to about, I think 13 knots was like the fastest we could go all day. So all of our plans to fish the Bahamas, all of our plans to fish north and Jupiter just didn't come together. So we had to run out of our local inlet here and just start drifting. Luckily the current was in our favor and it kept taking us north, and we were just missing fish, just having a terrible day, man. And things just came together. I think we were on our last 4 baits, man, and we were all just sitting there just, you know, free spooling one bait, just trying to put it together right at the end of the tournament. We were like an hour off away, and my buddy Hillel, he hooks up with a 42-pound wahoo just off a live bait, man, and we fought this thing for like 45 minutes. We were considering cutting it off and just going in and weighing the fish we had, because we were like, we're not gonna make the weigh-in. So my buddy Ben gets on and he free dives down to see what we even got. He comes up and just the excitement, you could tell, he's like, it's a huge wahoo, and we're like, here we go, man. So we get this thing boat side, gaff it green, and put it in the boat. Call our buddy Lee Kellerman from Seatow. He's such a rad dude. He comes flying out there. He was like about to get off his shift, and he still comes flying out there, tows us into the weigh-in, and we get there with 2 minutes to spare. Take the tournament by like ounces. I think the second place fish was like 41 and a half, and ours came in at 42. And it was just like, if things went good that day, we wouldn't have been in that spot at that time in front of that hungry fish. And you know, sometimes your plans get exceeded by, you know, like Mother Nature came in and said, hey, you guys are gonna win this tournament, but it's not gonna be the way you wanna do it. It's gonna be the way I want you guys to do it. And it was cool, man. We went from wanting to kill each other and being pissed off to just winning our first tournament. It was our first big tournament. We all walked out with tons of money. You know, we had the trophies on the T-top the whole way home, called a bunch of hot girls to come meet us at the weigh-in, and they brought just cases of booze and stuff like that, and we just partied all the way home on the Intracoastal. And it was big, man. I grew up fishing here my whole life, always going to the weigh-ins, always watching the big dogs, the big teams with tons of money and stuff like that. And that wasn't us, man. We were just a bunch of average Joes. We went out there, everyone was pissed off. They wanted to fight us at the weigh-in, and we loved it, man. You know, we're just local guys with local knowledge. We don't have, you know, $100,000 to throw into a tournament, and we still went out there and we crushed it. And that's got to be my best fishing memory, man. That was just over the top. You know, it was a Cinderella story. I couldn't believe we pulled it out. So it was cool, man.